Just as Alice was selling her second baby to the ritualist, a young man saw what happened between her and General Lucas. He recognized Alice, but he couldn't recognize who she was selling the baby to. He went to his house and began to think, so this woman has been lying that she lost her child. She couldn't find her child, but she has been the person selling them, the young man thought. I will tell everyone about this. Can you even believe they arrested Marlon thinking he was the person who stole their child? Well, Alice, after she sold the second one, began to spend money anyhow she loved. And again, she left her neighbors wondering, is this the same woman who just lost 2 kids in less than a year? Why does she always spend so much after she loses? But Alice's husband would never notice this. The police took Marlon to the station and kept telling him to bring out the baby. Officer, I don't know nothing about your baby. But you bought a BMW car immediately after the incident. Officer, I was planning to buy that car all along. You need to believe me. Take him and lock him up until he's ready to confess. So they took Marlon back to the prison room where he stayed and had no idea how to get out of this mess he was in. Well, going back to the young man who saw what happened between Alice and the ritualist, he decided to tell someone that might be rich enough to expose Alice. So, he went down to another part of the community looking for who to tell. He saw a car parked and decided to tell the person in the car. Maybe this person will be rich enough and the police will listen to him, he thought. So he told the man, I saw a woman sell a child to a man in this area, but he has been claiming to lose it and even has one of her neighbors locked up at the police station. I need you to talk to the police about that. They will listen to a rich man like you, the poor young man said. But here is the crazy part. He was telling the same man that bought the child from Alice, this same General Lucas. The general looked at him and faked his smile. That is bad, my dear. I will talk to the police. But where do you live? Lucas asked. I live in 7th block, New Life Street, 5th room, he answered. So Lucas brought out some money and gave it to him. This is your reward for bringing such good information to me. I will tell the police. These kind of people would not be spared, Lucas said. Then he watched the young man walk away. He laughed mischievously. Make sure you say your last prayers, he said. Then he brought out his phone and called one of his hire men. I need you to take somebody out for me. He lives in 7th block, New Street, 5th room. He has information that can ruin me forever, the general spoke. Consider the victim gone, the hire man responded. He ended the call. And so the hire man went and finished the young man overnight. Neighbors wondered what happened and why it happened to him. Alice's husband cried like a woman after his second baby disappeared into thin air, not knowing he was living with a demon, the greedy demon who cares only about money. Marlon was still in prison, the man who Alice forcefully accused of stealing her babies, even when she was the person who sold them. But the policeman who locked him up had a dream. In his dream, he saw 2 babies crying, but that is not the shocking part. The shocking part is he saw Marlon crying with them. By morning, he could not understand the dream, a dream where one of his prisoners was seen crying along with 2 babies. As for Alice, she bought gold rings, gold wristwatches, gold jewelry. She even bought some for her husband. Where did you get money for all this gold stuff? Her husband asked. We made a lot of profit at my workplace this month, so they paid everybody so high. Alice lied, but her husband made some findings and realized there was no such thing happening at her place of work. He began to suspect her, not fully, but somehow. And again, Alice knew she needed more money, and to get more money, she needed babies. It takes 9 months to make one baby, so if she's gonna sell one, she needs to get pregnant again. The earlier, the faster her money comes. So she told her husband, what are we waiting for? Let's make another baby. We can't give up because 2 got missing. No, we need to slow down and find out what is wrong with our marriage, he replied. But Alice kept trying to make him agree to her decision, but he would not agree, and this made him suspect her even more. Why is she trying to force him? Meanwhile, Alice could not wait for her husband. She needed money, and more money needs another baby. And this brought the idea of cheating on her husband just to get pregnant. Then she would put the pregnancy on her husband later.
So she dealed up with this man, paid him to get her pregnant, and disappeared without saying anything about it. And so it happened. And so she ended up pregnant, but this time for another man, a man called Baron. But here's the crazy part. Baron was a childhood friend of her husband, Mr. Paul. It had been so long since they had seen each other, but they were once childhood friends. Alice's husband was supposed to go to Abuja for a meeting, and this is the exact place Baron lives. You know, Alice had to go as far as another state to get a man who would get her pregnant, but she got Baron, who she never knew was a childhood friend of her husband. And her husband would be going to that same Abuja for a meeting. To be Ha! I know most of you don't like hearing to be continued, but here it comes again. To be continued.